I saw this UX case study some time ago in LinkedIn and I was fascinated by it, especially given the fact it was written by a university student, a second year university student who has no proper UX education whatsoever. So I called him up for an interview, which he got through successfully, and offered him an internship as well. It all happened because he has the right mindset for a UX designer, right problem solving mindset, which often we don't see from many people today. So I'm going to review this case study for you, and I'm going to point out his approach towards the problem, and I'm going to point out some mistakes he has made as well. So let's see. This is a revamping of an existing application. The application name is CBK app. CB stands for Ceylon Electricity Board, and he has given a proper introduction about the application as well. So CBK is an application provided by Ceylon Electricity Board for its customers for better customer service, and he has mentioned the key objectives of this application: bill payment, usage tracking, outage information, complaint handling. And then he has mentioned the problem. The this problem section, it could be given by a product owner, or if you're the product owner, you have to come up with that initial problem statement why you are gonna relook at the user experience of this particular application. Now he has mentioned that more than 50% of users face difficulties when getting information about power outage. I'm not quite sure how he has obtained these information, but he has mentioned that this is the problem that he's going to solve. More than 30% of users has lack of experience in managing and tracking the power consumption and so on. Then he has mentioned the process that is going to take to improve the user experience of this particular application. It's the typical design thinking process that I could see: empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. And then he has conducted a research, which is a very good approach. Now you have the initial problem statement given by the product owner, or if you're the product owner, it is your statement then. But you have to do a proper research to validate your initial assumptions and hypotheses, and to dig down deeper into what actually people going through. The pain points, the goals, the needs that these people do have is essentially to be uncovered. And he has done that research part, and I'd like if he could mention the research steps that he has taken, which he has not done. But I could see that he has looked into App Store and Play Store comments as well. That is one way of obtaining problems for your application. If it's a mobile application, then you could have all sorts of comments and reviews left in these Play Stores and App Stores, which explains the problems of any application. So he has collected those information as well. Then he has mentioned, based on the research carried out with potential users, the ideas and the behaviors are categorized to an empathy map as follows, which is a correct approach. But I would like if we could mention that how he has done the user research, and what questions he asked, and what type of people he talked to, which he mentioned to me in the interview. But it's nice if you could mention it here as well. Now, there are two ways of doing these kinds of research. First method is you go to people, you talk to people, and you get the information, and then you create personas and these empathy maps. So he has taken that approach, and he has mentioned these are the stuff that he has gathered. Getting response to complaints take long time, hard to manage power usage, and all these things are categorized. And then he has mentioned user persona. I think it should come before the empathy map. I have a few issues with his persona, because I believe that the both of these personas do belong to a similar segment of its user groups. And normally we now this is a research based persona. Normally what we do is we create a persona to reflect a particular segment of a user group, a particular segment which has similar problems, similar concerns, similar demographics and behaviors. So that they can be represented in one persona. So this person has presented both the personas in the similar segment, and frustrations are pretty similar as well. So he could improve a lot on presenting the persona. And like I said, the persona should come I would say somewhere here, but that's okay. I'm not going too harsh on this kid. And the solution, now he has mentioned the solutions, but I'd like if he could mention a summary of the problems that he has gathered. Now he has the initial the hypothesis or the business problem statement that he has mentioned earlier, as well as he has done the research. So it's better if he could categorize them, or rather present them in a nice manner, that these are the problems that we are going to solve in this particular application. But I think he's going to solve these problems, I assume. Now don't let your readers or your viewers to assume things here. So instead you can present it here nicely. Now he has come to the solution part. The first thing is he has proposed smart metering system, which has nothing to do with this application. And the second, third and fourth points, he has something designed to improve the user experience of this particular application, getting daily notifications and showing the map view for the application outage, or rather the power outages, and the notifying the users about the basic facilities in the app through boarding usage. Okay, now he has mentioned a user flow, how he has categorized all this into one single solution. And then he has mentioned CB cap wireframe set. Now here again, I mentioned in my previous case study review as well, when you're presenting wireframes, don't let us know that you did wireframes. No, we need to know what these wireframes do reflect. So it's better if we can show them, like, this is my onboarding screens, because he has mentioned some stuff about the onboarding. So this is how I'm planning to do it, and this is how I'm going to do the notifications, and this is how the map would look like. So how you have crafted that solution as low fidelity wireframes is something that we're going to see. Now here what we could get to know is you have done wireframes, but we don't know what these wireframes are. So then he has put up a video here about maybe about the key features about the application. I'm not quite sure whether this video match into this kind of a UX case study, maybe at a later stage. So now he has moved into high fidelity design. Even though he has not categorized his wireframes, low fidelity designs, he has categorized his high fidelity designs, which is very nice. Now he starts off with the splash screens and the boarding screen, and then login, password reset screen. One thing, now when you're presenting these high fidelity designs or anything, don't start off with these passwords reset screens and the login, sign up, unless it is really important here, because these things are there in every application, and what users or what viewers need to see is how you have tackled the main problems that you have identified earlier. So give the focus to them. And if the login and onboarding and password resets are really important, which has identified as an issue in the application at the beginning, then you could show them. Otherwise, you don't really necessary to show them. And home screen, main menu. Now, I'm not going to comment anything on his visual design abilities, which he can improve a lot, I would say. It's a total different subject to this case study review, so I'm not going to talk about that aspect. And here comes the schedule and map screens. So he has presented the calendar, and he has given the map of the country, and I think he could improve a lot on the patterns that he has used, the information architectural patterns and the interaction design patterns. I'm talking about how information architectural pattern stands for how you structure information in your page, and the interaction design pattern stands for how users would interact with your information and get the thing done. For example, I'm not quite sure whether this calendar view is the right pattern here, but again, I'm not going to go too harsh on this kid. User and electricity account screens, he has mentioned the profile screens and all, calculation payments. So yep, he has mentioned everything that he has done. And then again, we see a video, and if we click on this video, it will explain the flow, entire flow, how somebody would go through, which is very nice. I would say this video makes sense at this point. So I put the link in the description tab for this UX case study, so you can go through and view all these things. And then I see something that I don't see in many UX case studies these days, the user testing part. Now he has come up with the solution. He has identified the problem, he has done the research, and he has come up with the solution. Now he has testing it. Now he's honoring the process that he has mentioned at the very beginning, that he's going to follow the user, the design thinking process, prototype and test. And often what I see in most case studies is, even though people mention that they are going to use design thinking, they somehow forget that the testing part is mandatory. So this guy has done it, and he has tested with 10 users by using this tool called Maze, and he has asked some questions and gathered information. And I don't know whether he has done it for real, but he has presented it in a believable manner that he has done it. And like I said, I really like his thinking, the approach. So he has done the task completion rate, browsers used by users. I think he has to use a functional prototype to do these kind of stuff, which he said to me that he made one of those. And I really like the way he has crafted this UX case study, and he has mentioned lessons learned for further improvement here. More than 50% of users in direct use of flows are composition. So he has identified some stuff to be done later as well, and his learning is presented here as well. So overall, I would say this is a very nice UX case study especially written by a second year student of a university. His approach towards the problem is correct, and the way he has presented these steps, well, he could improve, like I mentioned in my review phase. He could have done certain things differently, but he has the right attitude, the right mindset for a UX designer, that right problem solving mindset, because the prime job of a UX designer is to come up with a better solution for a problem, which often we don't see from many UX designers in nowadays. So that's about it, and see you again.